Imagine a company so deeply embedded in global commerce that 77% of all business transactions touch its software in some way.
Wow.
That's the power of SAP,
SAP.
a European tech giant most people haven't even heard of. Yet it's quietly powering the world behind the scenes.
Really?
Today we're diving deep into SAP to see what makes it tick, and more importantly, if it's a good investment for you.
Okay.
Before we get started,
Yeah.
hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode of the Deep Dive.
That's good.
Today's Deep Dive uses a stack of research reports, market analysis, and financial filings to give you the inside track on SAP.
Oh.
We'll unpack how SAP actually makes money, analyze its strengths and weaknesses, and peek into the crystal ball to see what challenges and opportunities lie ahead.
Interesting.
By the end, you'll have a solid understanding of this often overlooked but incredibly influential company.
All right, let's get started.
Chapter 1, Business Understanding.
Okay.
So at its core, SAP is a global leader in enterprise software, focusing on ERP systems that help businesses manage everything from finances to supply chains.
Makes sense.
Think of it as the central nervous system for some of the world's biggest companies.
Wow, that's a good way to put it.
SAP's reach is staggering. 77% of global business transactions involve one of its systems.
That's incredible.
While they started with traditional software licenses, SAP is now riding the cloud wave, offering subscription-based access to its powerful suite of applications.
Yeah.
This transition is evident in their 2022 cloud revenue of $8.42 billion.
Wow, that's impressive.
They even offer pre-configured systems called SAP model companies, tailored for specific industries, like ready-made brains for businesses.
I've actually heard those. They're pretty cool.
Now that's smart,
Yeah,
but a company is only as good as the people at the helm, right?
definitely.
So let's talk about Chapter 2,
Mm-hmm.
Management Evaluation.
Okay.
What's the deal with the folks running the show over there?
Well, from what I've seen, SAP's leadership team has been praised for steering the company's cloud transformation and AI strategy.
Interesting.
CEO Christian Klein and CFO Dominic Assam seem to be the driving force behind this successful shift.
And I read that they use incredibly detailed payslips within their own HR system for transparency with employees.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too.
It's a small thing,
Yeah.
but it signals a big commitment to open communication and building trust.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Right.
And that focus on transparency extends beyond internal operations. Their strategic investments, especially in research and development, particularly in AI, tell us they're actively shaping the future of enterprise software, not just coasting on past successes.
It seems like they're ticking all the boxes for a company that's thinking long-term.
Definitely forward-thinking.
But let's get down to brass tacks here.
Okay.
What about the cold, hard numbers?
Financial.
Chapter 3,
Yep.
Financial Health.
Right.
Are they actually making money from all this innovation?
The financials paint a pretty rosy picture.
Good.
We're seeing consistent revenue growth
Yeah.
with $33.78 billion in 2023 alone.
Wow.
And beyond just revenue, their profitability is strong.
Great.
A gross margin of 72.2%, an operating margin of 18.5%, and a net margin of 15.2%, all in 2023.
But are they drowning in debt to achieve those margins?
Not even close.
Okay.
Their debt-to-equity ratio sits at a remarkably low 0.26, which points to a very healthy balance sheet.
That's amazing.
They're actually sitting on more cash than their total debt.
Wow.
On top of all that, they boast a strong free cash flow, reaching $5.55 billion in 2023.
So far, everything sounds pretty positive.
It does.
But before anyone rushes out to buy SAP stock, we need to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
How is the market reacting to SAP, and what are the potential risks?
Right. Those are important questions.
We'll dig into that after a quick reminder to check out the links to all our research in the episode description.
Good idea.
And while you're there, let us know in the comments what stocks you'd like us to deep dive into next.
Sounds good. It's true. We always have to balance the excitement with a little healthy skepticism.
Right, exactly.
So let's see what the market thinks of SAP.
Okay.
Chapter 4, Market Sentiment. Is Wall Street as bullish as we are?
What have you found? Well, the market seems to be pretty optimistic.
Yeah.
SAP stock has consistently outperformed the DAX index, and most analysts rate it as a buy or even a strong buy.
Interesting.
And they've set some pretty high price targets.
Wow. So what's driving all this enthusiasm?
It seems like investors are really excited about SAP's advancements in AI and their cloud growth,
Uh-huh.
they see SAP as a leader in these new and important fields.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the future sales forecasts are impressive.
Really? How impressive are we talking?
Well, they're predicting $9.54 billion in sales next quarter.
It's a big number.
It is.
It seems like they're not just riding the wave, they're actually steering the ship.
And I also read that SAP's business seems to be pretty resilient to the ups and downs of the economy.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a plus for investors.
It is if you're looking for stability.
Yeah, for sure.
So who are these investors who are putting their money into SAP?
Let's take a look at the ownership structure.
Okay.
Chapter 5.
Ownership structure.
A large portion of SAP is owned by institutional investors.
Interesting.
You know, like pension funds and investment firms.
Yeah, so big players.
Yeah, exactly. They do a lot of research and tend to think long term.
So these are the folks who really know what they're doing.
Right, and they see potential in SAP.
So it seems like the smart money is on SAP.
Yeah, you could say that.
Are there any interesting trends in terms of where these investors are based?
Actually, there is something interesting there.
Oh, really? What is it?
Well, a lot of the investors are based in the U.S.
So American investors are betting on a European tech giant.
Yeah, it seems like they see a lot of value in SAP.
That's interesting.
It is.
But even with all this positive news, we have to consider the risks.
Of course, every investment has risks.
So let's move on to Chapter 6, Risk Assessment.
Sounds good.
We can use a SWOT analysis to help us understand the risks and opportunities.
Okay, so looking at their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Right.
Well, SAP has a lot of strengths.
Like what?
They have great brand recognition, a diverse range of products, and a truly global presence.
Yeah, they're definitely a major player.
And they're very focused on innovation and have developed strong partnerships.
That's good.
And their systems are known for being cost-effective in the long run.
Right.
Oh, and they've really improved the user experience of their software.
I've heard that too. It's much more user-friendly now.
Yeah, they've really made an effort there.
So they've got a lot going for them.
They do.
But what about their weaknesses?
Well, one thing is that their systems can be pretty complex.
Ah, yeah. I can see that being a problem.
It can lead to high implementation costs, which could scare away some potential clients. And they rely heavily on a highly skilled workforce.
So that could be a problem if they can't find the right people.
Exactly. It's a competitive job market out there.
Oh.
And of course, like any tech company, they're vulnerable to security breaches.
Yeah, that's always a risk.
It is.
But no company is perfect.
Nope.
So let's look at their opportunities.
Okay, so where can SAP grow in the future?
What do you think?
Well, the enterprise software market is booming right now.
It is.
And SAP is well positioned to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they're already investing in cloud computing and AI.
Which are huge growth areas.
Exactly. They're really on top of the trends.
And I've also heard that there's a growing demand for sustainability solutions.
Oh, yeah. Businesses are definitely looking for ways to be more sustainable.
And it sounds like SAP is working on that.
They are.
And don't forget their new S/4HANA system.
Right. That's a big opportunity for them.
It seems like they've got a lot of exciting prospects.
They do.
But we can't ignore the threats.
Of course not. What are the challenges they're facing?
Well, the competition in the enterprise software market is intense.
Yeah, with big names like Oracle, Salesforce, and Microsoft all vying for market share.
Right. So SAP has to stay on top of their game.
Exactly. They need to keep innovating to stay ahead.
And technology is evolving so quickly these days.
Yeah, that's another challenge. They have to adapt quickly.
And of course, cybersecurity threats are always looming.
Unfortunately, yes. And we can't forget about the possibility of an economic downturn.
Right, that could definitely hurt their business.
And then there are the ever-changing government regulations.
So they've got a lot to keep track of.
You do?
But these are all things that any company in this industry has to deal with.
That's true.
But there is one risk that's specific to SAP.
What's that?
It's the migration to S/4HANA and cloud integration.
Ah, yeah, that's a big undertaking.
It is, and it comes with some security challenges.
Right. Investors should definitely do the research on that.
Absolutely.
It's a good reminder that every investment has risks.
And speaking of risks, SAP has also faced some ethical challenges.
Oh, yeah, what happened?
Well, there were allegations of bribery by one of their suppliers.
That's never good.
It's not.
It can really damage a company's reputation
Definitely.
and ultimately affect their bottom line.
So we've looked at SAP's business model, their management team, their financial health, how the market feels about them, who owns their stock, and we've done a SWOT analysis.
Yeah, that gives us a pretty good overview.
But there's one more important thing to consider.
What's that?
the ethical implications of AI.
Ah, yes, that's a big one.
SAP is investing heavily in AI.
Right, and that raises some ethical concerns.
It does, because AI is becoming more and more integrated into how businesses operate.
It's not just some cool technology anymore, it's really changing things.
Exactly. We're talking about algorithms that could impact things like hiring decisions, supply chain management, and even financial forecasting.
Wow, so AI has a huge potential impact.
It does both positive and negative.
And that's what makes it so important to think about the ethics of it all.
Right. As AI becomes more ingrained in business operations, companies like SAP have a huge responsibility to think about the potential societal impacts of their innovations.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
What's interesting is that SAP seems to be aware of these challenges.
Oh, yeah.
They've publicly stated their commitment to developing AI ethically. But the real test will be in their actions.
I agree. Actions speak louder than words.
It's easy to talk the talk, but walking the walk is what matters.
Yeah.
Will they prioritize profit over principles, or use their influence to champion responsible AI practices across the entire industry?
That's a tough question.
It is. It's a question investors should be asking themselves.
Definitely something to think about.
So what does this all mean for you?
Well,
If you're thinking about investing in SAP, you're looking at a company with a dominant market position, strong financials, and a commitment to innovation.
right. They've got a lot going for them.
But you also need to factor in the competitive landscape, the constantly evolving tech scene, and the ethical considerations around AI development.
It's a lot to weigh.
It's a complex picture, but that's why we do these deep dives.
To give you the information you need.
Exactly. We want to empower you with information. But ultimately, the decision of whether or not to invest is yours.
You have to make the call that's right for you.
And if you found this deep dive helpful, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future explorations into the world of business and finance.
We've got a lot more deep dives coming up.
We do, so stay tuned.
As always, this deep dive is for informational purposes only and not financial advice.
Right. We're not financial advisors.
Do your own research, talk to a financial advisor, and make decisions that align with your investment goals and risk tolerance.
Exactly.
Investing always involves risk,
It does.
so be sure to do your homework.
Until next time, happy investing.